Let's talk about footwear and the way it changes the way that you move. Name brand companies, Nike, Adidas, all these popular shoe companies, they're literally destroying the way that you move. Their shoes, with all this padding between you and the ground, they train you to be what's called a heel striker when you run. When you run in those shoes, they train you to hit the ground with your heel first and then contact the ground with your forefoot. But that's not how humans are designed to run. We are designed to hit the ground with our forefoot and then roll and keep moving. When you are a heel striker and you hit the ground with your heel, you come to a complete stop and then you move. When you're a forefoot or midfoot striker, you hit the ground and it's just a smooth transition. Well, why does that matter? Right? When there's this much cushion and padding between you and the ground, it shortens your calf muscles, which then decreases your ankle mobility. Anytime you decrease mobility of a joint, you are decreasing the amount of load that joint can take. So if you're making a movement and doing a movement that exceeds the capacity of the joint to handle the load, you get injured. Those shoes have literally, by Nike and New Balance, have literally destroyed generations of people's feet and generations of athletes' feet. We have to do better, right? We have to be more educated about the way that we move. So I'm going to give you some options that you can choose from when you're making that transition from modern footwear to regular footwear. Now, I want to make it clear that none of these shoe companies have told me to do this, right? There's lots of different companies here. This is just what I want to do because you need to know, right? So you can educate yourself next time you're buying a pair of shoes. So we need to start with shoes that have what is called a zero drop. The drop in a shoe refers to how much higher the heel is compared to the forefoot. Nike and shoes with all this padding, Skechers with all this foam craziness, they have a huge heel drop, right? The heel is up here with this much padding. We want shoes with a zero heel drop, meaning that the back of this shoe is the same height as the front of the shoe. So some brands that have this are Xero, Xero, Xero shoes. Look how bendable and pliable this is. When we're looking for shoes, we want shoes with a wide toe box. We don't want tiny, narrow shoes that make your feet all pointed and squishy. We don't want a shoe-shaped foot. We want a foot-shaped shoe. These are some brands that offer that. Wide toe box, it needs to be pliable. It needs to be bendable. Right? Your feet are moving all the time. If your feet can't bend and move when you step, it's going to change the way that you move in a negative capacity. So Xero shoes, great brand, great shoes. Another great company, Vivobarefoot. We can see, again, zero heel drop. The back of the heel is the same as the back of the shoe is the same as the front of the shoe, right? Again, look how bendy it is. We want shoes that can bend, that can move with you. Wide toe box. Another great company, Lems, Lems, Lems. Great shoes. This is a new pair I haven't worn, so they got this thing in it, so I can't bend it. But it is bendy. It's flexible. Now, I am partial. I hate wearing closed-toed shoes. I don't like not being able to like wiggle my toes around. So I prefer VIbrams, VIbram 5-finger shoes. Those are the shoes with the toes. Remember, we want foot-shaped shoes, not shoe-shaped feet. It doesn't make any sense to close your toes off like this. Imagine trying to putting a mitten on all day and then trying to grab stuff and do things in your daily routine, right? It's going to be really hard. That's what I think shoes do. So my favorite option is to go with the VIbram toe shoes. Shoes with toes, right? People may think you're weird. People have been trained to think that these are normal and this is abnormal, right? Shoes with toes. But we need to rethink the way that we think about shoes and our movement, right? You should have slots for your toes. When you put on gloves, you have slots for your fingers, right? Why would it be any different for your shoe? So again, we want zero drop. The back is the same as the front. And I like this pair of Vibrams just because it kind of looks like a dress shoe. You know, kind of has a khaki bottom. I think this is one of their hiking models. But I use it for more dress when I have to wear dress shoes. Again, here's another Vibram. There's nothing to this. Like, it just folds right up. You do everything in these. I play paintball in these. I work in these. Everything that you can do in life, like, you don't need shoes to do it. Okay, so next, if you are forced to wear dress shoes to work, a lot of people are, right? Why would it make sense to have pointy ass shoes that cramp all your toes together and then spend all day in those? That's uncomfortable. Your feet are gonna hurt, and when you do that all the time, day in and day out, you're changing the form of your foot, which means you're changing the function of it, right? And not in a positive way. We want foot-shaped shoes, not shoe-shaped feet. So Lems, again, they make great dress shoes. And look, zero drop. This is the same height as that. Now, if you need some boots, Xero makes boots, Xero. Lems makes boots, Lems. They're not steel-toed, so there's a lot of places out there where that's a requirement, where shoes have to be steel-toed, which doesn't make any sense, because if you drop something on your foot that's heavy, no shoe's going to save you. It might help you, I guess, but it's not really going to make any difference. So if you have any questions about footwear and how it affects the way that you move, go ahead and message me. Let's have a talk about it. All right, thanks for watching.